Yo, what's up, boys and girls, and welcome to the first ever MiRecap for MPL Indonesia Season 13. Now, we've done MiRecap before. We are going to change the MiRecap formula a little bit. Remember, back in the day, for the people who want to just get to the video, just skip over. There's going to be time lapses time stamps down below where you guys can skip over to the actual video. But just a quick disclaimer of the new formula. It's basically going to be a tier list system every single week. Because last time we did MPL recap with just going through every single match, and I don't think it was that interesting because everybody just wants to know what I think about the teams, how they performed this week, etc. And that's how we're going to be talking about it. We're going to go through it team by team, and without further ado, let's start. Boom, bang, bada bing. So here's the tier list, my dudes. We're going to go straight into it. We're going to be talking about the teams one by one, and then and then ranking them, okay? So we'll start according to the matches. First match was Alter Ego versus Evo's Glory. I think we're going to start with Alter Ego. One of the best transfers this season with Taz. You already have such a solid team in Pai, Rossi, and Nino. So these three members that they have kept are the three members that actually were performing really, really well last season. Unfortunately, they were not able to fully capitalize on these three's strengths completely because in the jungle, Sunny Boy was underperforming quite a bit. And in the mid lane, Udo was actually doing quite a good job as well. Very surprised that he left. But now with Krite, I would say there are two ways to see it here. Is Krite an upgrade over Udo? That's a tough question right now. I think in terms of the flexibility, in terms of his hero pool, yes, it is an upgrade. In terms of everything else, I don't think it's an upgrade. But because they have such a flexible, fluid mid laner who can play so many crazy picks in that mid lane, it has helped Alter Ego create an environment in the draft where it's very good for everyone. Because the main problem for Alter Ego last season was in the draft. Pai is a playmaker. He wants to be given these enablers, the Terizlas, the Lapu Lapus, the Arlets as well. Heroes that can actually team fight, initiate, and play make. He's not much of a crazy laning type of guy. His laning is really good, but his hero pool, I'm talking about his hero pool, he's not a laner per se. He's more of a team player. Just kind of like Boots, I will say. And because it got really easy to read for Alter Ego for a long time in Season 12, Pai just got banned out, picked out, and every single time wasn't really able to make the best play happen. Now, with a very, very amazing jungler with a deep hero pool, one of the best junglers, top 3 for sure in Indonesia, with Ken and Kyrie, and also a mid laner with a crazy hero pool as well, a very deep hero pool. Alter Ego basically have all their strengths multiplied. Nino and Pai's lackluster hero pool and Rossi elevated now by the two changes that they have made for themselves. And because of that, I'm going to have to put Alter Ego at great. Now, I don't know if they're going to be top team just yet. I really hope they will be able to get top team because, hey, I'm an Indonesian. They have a full Indo lineup. It'll be a W for all the Indonesians if the full Indo lineup actually beats out, the teams with imports. That'll be crazy. It'll be cool. But for now, we're putting them at great because against Rebellion, we did see a few of these little mistakes come and go. Against Rebellion, the macro was just weird. They were doing so good against Evo's Glory, but also that might just be because of the draft. They got Nolan, Harith, and Joy Angela. I don't know how Evo's Glory left that open. We'll talk about that later for Evos. But yeah. Alter Ego got amazing draft against Evo's Glory. When they didn't get the best draft of all time against Rebellion, the passive is still there. Some discipline problems are still there for Alter Ego. And I hope that they can fix that in the next weeks, and then for sure they will be top team. But for now, we're going to put them in great. Next match is, next team that we're going to be talking about is Evo's GLORY. Glory. Evo's Glory. If they play the way that they play right now, it's going to be real tough. Let me just say that much. It's going to be real tough. I understand what they were going for against Alter Ego. They wanted to try to counter the Nolan and the Harith with the Phoveus. They wanted to try to counter the Joy and the Angela, but it just did not work out. Again, maybe an oversight in the draft, maybe also bad execution, a mix of both, ended up with Evo's Glory having one of, if not the worst, opening matches in MPL Indonesia history. Yeah, that was not a good match to watch. Game 1 and Game 2 of the match against Alter Ego. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad I did, because against Bigatron Alpha, they were actually much, much better. If they played the same way that they did in their first match, I would 100% just put them at no playoffs, because there's no way they'll be making it to playoffs with the way that they played in their first match. But against Bigatron Alpha, I was actually really impressed. The draft was pretty good, and also the way that they were playing also were really, really good. They had the conditions met. They have a very, very amazing XP laner in Veldora. I think Veldora, in the weeks to come, if they are able to hone the strength of Veldora in that XP lane, give them the damage carries, Evos can actually be a very, very scary team. Maybe contesting for great, maybe even becoming a dark horse this season. But realistically, mid-table right now. They were outclassed by Bigatron Alpha in game number 1. They had everything going for them, but they still do not know what to do when they have such a big lead. They make these little mistakes, and top teams capitalize on that. Great teams capitalize on that. As a mid-table team, these are the problems that they kind of have. They're very inconsistent with the way they execute game plans. They're very inconsistent with the draft as well. And they are also very inconsistent when it comes to using the players. I have no idea why this trend is still a thing for Evos. It's almost like they're going through the same arc from 10, 11, 12, and now 13. Season 10, they got Dlar. They kept on swapping Dlar. Even mid-game. Season 12, they got Doma, swapped Doma back and forth. They kept on swapping their players. And here, after their match 1 loss against Alter Ego, they swapped Super Red out for Brands. Now, Brands did perform better than Super Red, by the way, in their match against Bigatron. But still, stick to one, man. If you want to just treat Super Red like Dlar, just do it. Use Brands. Use Brands for the whole season. If you want to use Super Red, then use Super Red. Just commit into something, at least so that we can see the outcome being an actual outcome. It's not some half-baked shit, So yeah, for Evo's main problem right now, I'm going to have to put them in mid-table because of that. And we will move on to the next team, which is Dewa versus Rebellion. So we're going to move and start talking about Dewa United first. Dewa United transfers, to be honest, on paper, very lackluster. They got a substitute player who didn't play for a while, who swapped his role from mid lane to roam. He's also a Kage, but he's still inactive, right? He hasn't been playing in the roster for ONIC for a long time. Just Gar as well, an MDL player coming up. We expected some big names for Dewa United. They got Drian, which is a big name, but that's it. Turns out that's exactly what they need. They don't need anything except for Drian right now. Dewa are looking real strong. Based on their week 1 performance, they are looking flexible. They're looking unstoppable. They're looking consistent and stable as well. All the good words that you would give to teams like ONIC, Bigatron, Alter Ego, RRQ, you would give as well to Dewa in their first week. Because, my God, I was really impressed. Very, very impressed with their Game 1 victory against Rebellion Esports, where Rebellion Esports utilized a very cheesy Hanzo pick, and Dewa United in the last Kage basically said, no, you cannot out-cheese the last Kage. When you go and cheese with a Hanzo, I'll cheese with a full damage, dire hit, lethal ignition show. Just shows you how fucking flexible Dewa United are. Holy moly. The fact that they have a roamer now who can basically play anything in that roam position. This is a player who's played Hanzo mid, Lapu mid, Natan mid, and a lot of other crazy mid laners in mid lane. I can't wait to see what Dewa can do with Drian in this lineup, because even in their match against Aura, in Aura's debut, bro, Dewa were doing it. Dewa were outclassing Aura in every fucking department. It was crazy. Even Watt's so good. So it's just basically they upgraded everything. They still have that trio mid-centric playstyle that they had with Kaze, Lanaya, and Shaco, but now with Drian and Justgar, it feels much stronger, much more stable, and they're able to contest for these neutral objectives much better. But they also still have that crazy X factor, which is Watt, always. And yeah, massive shout out to Dewa United, massive shout out to the team, because this week 1, they're definitely great. They're up there in great. Rebellion on the other side basically showed us that the lackluster transfer And all of the doubts were right. We were talking about how there were a lot of doubters for Alter Ego, a lot of doubters for Dewa, and they proved these doubters wrong. Unfortunately, there's another side of the coin, which is a team that a lot of people doubted, or actually 90% of people doubted, and it makes sense why they're doubted because of their horrible, horrible performance in week 1. Really disappointed with Rebellion, the way that they were playing, the way that they were maneuvering, even their players. At this point, Moai feels the gold laner that they got to replace Heiss. I thought they would get a very stable gold laner, and they did. But I don't even know if this is an upgrade, right? Listening from the people behind the scenes, it does feel like it is an upgrade because he doesn't make as many mistakes. But he also doesn't carry. The man is a sitting duck every single time. I mean, what's the point of getting a gold lane who doesn't carry at this point, right? He's very mediocre gold lane at this point. Maybe mediocre is actually a bit too generous. Below average as of right now for Moai. Very weird the way that he was like playing these games and the way that he just killed himself against the Thamus Vengeance, stuff like that. It's very unfortunate for Rebellion because they do have very, very high potential players like Cars, Swaylo, AudiTZ, and actually just everybody. You can definitely see the glimpses of brilliance from this team, but their macro is just nowhere to be seen. This team has almost zero macro. Alter Ego, their negative was the macro that they had against Rebellion as well. The way that they were playing, it was kind of like the old Alter Ego against Rebellion, but they fixed it. They found these adjustments. Meanwhile, for Rebellion, they're a very Season 10 team. What do I mean by Season 10 team? Aside from ONIC and RRQ in Season 10, every team just goes in fighting. And Rebellion still feels like an old MPL ID team where they have zero macro sense and they go in. They fight. They're Rebellion. They rebel against the new meta of macro. They will just fight. And it hasn't worked out for them. If they continue to play like this, they will go no playoffs and they will probably win 0 matches. They need to improve in that department. Not much else to talk about when we're talking about Rebellion. So we're moving on to Geek Fam. For Geek Fam, definitely a downgrade from last season, man. They had Nile. They were very, very stable. They were very, very good. They were also swapping in Marky and Chidera here both times. It just doesn't feel like the same Geek Fam. I don't know. It's very tough to pinpoint exactly the problem, but the most glaring problem being definitely their jungle because they got Ray and Hazel. Ray is not it, man. He is loaned from Dewa. He was probably the worst jungler in Season 12. When he did play for Dewa, it just didn't... Like, his mechanics are amazing, by the way. I'm not trying to say that he's not good at all. He's actually really, really good when you give him the right heroes. But unfortunately, this meta is not meant for those type of heroes and for those type of jitters. Because Ray's mental is weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it. I like Hazel better, and I think with their match against ONIC, Hazel kind of proved that he was better. More consistent retributions, more consistent overall on the board, even though he's on his utility picks, which is not his strong suit. Hazel's strong suit is assassins. So what I'm trying to say here for Geek Fam is they're going through the same arc that they did last season. They got a very young jungler who was very aggressive. This time they got 2 instead of 1. But very young jungler, super aggressive, and needs to understand discipline, needs to learn discipline. Same arc as last season. Literally. They're going to be a mid-table team by the looks of it from their performances. Luke is still a standout. A boy as well. Really, really good. But aside from Luke and a boy, I can see still some BBB plays from Beloyski, but it's the same as last season's Geek in the early stages of early weeks. Beloyski is not able to perform at his tip-top form because the jungle is a bit too... he's still babysitting the jungle, if you understand what I mean. You know, he's not fully focused on his own plays just yet. But as Ray and Hazel progresses, if they are able to progress as fast as Nile did, Geek could very easily get to great or even top team again. So, let's move on to the next one. And it's... Oh my god, this one's really sad. This one's super sad, man. Aura. Damn. By the looks of it, the way they're playing, they're looking to not make it to playoffs, guys. Seriously. They're looking to not make it to playoffs. Yaoi is still good. I think the initiations he was making, the plays that he was making is still good. But The biggest problem for Aura is they have an XP laner who has completely lost his identity, completely lost what made him good back when he debuted. He was known to side lane, to push into side lanes, to be a fucking menace, an oppressor in the lane, and a distraction so that the rest of the team can play their style, can play back and forth. They still have the same player, but it almost seems like it's not the same player. Aran is a shadow of what he was before. He gets the Paquito and he doesn't play for lane. He plays for team fights. But then he gets given picks like the Terizla, gets given picks like the Enablers. That just doesn't feel like Aran, you know? It's like, at this point, why go for Aran if you're trying to make him a very standard, normal XP laner? It's like it's basically like getting Diablo and forcing Diablo to play standard picks. You're losing everything, all the advantages that he has. And right now, he only has one hero, basically, that he does well on. Paquito. That's it. Their mid lane only does well on one hero, too. He used to be good on 3 heroes, Pharsa, Yve, and Novaria. But now that Yve and Pharsa are out of the meta, he only performs on the Novaria. You have a gold laner who can basically only play 2 heroes as well. Carry and Claude. You give him Bruno, give him the Brody. He was really good on Brody back in the day, but I don't know. Maybe it's the meta as well. That it's very hard for the Brody to actually hard bully with a team that's disorganized. But in summary, they have a team, an XP laner with 1 hero, a mid laner with 1 hero, and a gold laner with 2 heroes. They will always be outdrafted if they continue this way. They've got probably the most shallow hero pool in MPL, and it's the easiest to exploit. That's why I would have to put Rebellion over Aura, actually, the way that they are, because Rebellion at least have, you know, a wide hero pool that they can utilize to outdraft Aura. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but Aura might be 9th place again this season based on their performance. Hopefully they improve. I really don't like seeing, you know, the team lose. I'm a fan of Aran, fan of Yaoi. Very sad. Let's move on to RRQ. Man, did not expect this debut performance against Aura. We literally were just bashing Aura at how bad they were this season. And I'm not too impressed with the RRQ that showed up in week 1. Again, this list isn't for the next few weeks, guys. This list is based on week 1, their performance in week 1. And honestly, I was not impressed with RRQ. I was actually very disappointed with RRQ's performance, the way that they were playing, the way that they were executing their game plan, and I think it's more to do with execution. I think the drafts are actually pretty solid for RRQ. I actually disagree with some of the other restreamers who say that the draft was the problem for RRQ. I think the draft was actually really good. It's just the execution that's still not it. Right now, they're actually a mid-table team in week 1, if they continue to play like this. The only reason they won against Aura, by the way, Aura, the team that I was just bashing for having 0 heroes, for a team that always gets outdrafted, and Aura legit almost won against RRQ. RRQ at this point, right now, it's basically kind of like Skylar Esports. They need to fix these problems, man. I don't know what it is. Don is barely doing his job. Like as an XP lane, as an aggressive XP lane, is a bit passive. He doesn't go in much. Maybe it's the jitters. You know, it is his first time in MPL, so it is possibly the jitters. Octa though, I gave him the benefit of the doubt at GOTF. I hyped his Vexana up. I've always said that, you know, his Vexana is actually really, really good, etc. His Lilia definitely not, but his Vexana. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of how he played in week 1. Yeah. Brusco and Irad actually did pretty well. Irad was actually still really, really good. He's constant, but so far with the meta basically forcing all junglers to go utility, we won't see Irad full carry games. And right now, it really truly feels like it's Skylar Esports. If Skylar underperforms once, I think this team might be done, like in the next week. But we'll see. This is only their week 1 performance. They will improve 100%. They're still a very new team. We did see them in GOTF, and they did look really good in GOTF. So I am willing to say that for RRQ, compared to Evos and Geek, they should be here. This is their real potential. Top team. But week 1, they need to improve. They were struggling against an Aura that are not good. That are not, like, that have not, I don't know. Just Aura was not it, man. ONIC, still top tier. They're their game performance against Geek Fam showed us that even when they slump, even when they don't take their opponents seriously, even when they are losing in the early game, they can always find ways to come back. And that's a signal of what a top team is, man. It just shows you how good they are at handling these different situations. Still, number one up there. They were also up against Geek Fam. Geek Fam, really, really solid team. Not a pushover by any means. Not a no playoffs team. And I'll have to say the same for Bigatron Alpha. I think I'll definitely have more words to say about Bigatron than I do about ONIC. For ONIC, they're the same team. Again, it does feel like they have, downgraded a bit. But it may be just because it's the playoffs. ONIC are that type of team. They've won MPL 3 times in a row. They've won MSC. They've won Snapdragon. They've won all the tournaments except for the M Series and the GOTF. So we might be seeing ONIC finally slow down in their hunger for being number one in the regular season. They'll probably start really tryharding in the big matches like the Royal Derby, maybe against Bigatron, but against all the other teams, I think, well, maybe Alter Ego and Dewa, they'll also try hard, but against all the other teams, I think they're probably going to have like a chill time. They're not really going to 100% put in all their focus, etc. And I think that's really what happened against Geek Fam. I think they were just underestimating their opponents. And they're still the same ONIC. I think they will come back to their old form. But it did look very concerning as an ONIC fan. I don't know, again, if it's them just underestimating or if they were actually playing that way. But Bigatron also, no explanation needed. Emann, the best transfer this season. 100%. 4 games, almost 4 MVPs, number 1 in the MVP regular season, got a Savage in his first week, he got a fucking Segway play and a Savage in his first week of play. Bro, this guy is ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous. Disgusting. And yeah, they have an amazing trio mid. So for BTR, I like the way that they are playing this. They have an amazing trio mid, so why would they change their playstyle completely to just fit Emann? Utilize the strong trio mid, and if it fails, then play for Emann. That's what makes them now such a very versatile, flexible team as well, who are in the top side of the teams in MPL ID for sure. But there are still holes in Bigatron's game. That's why I won't say that they are number one. Even though they won twice, 2-0, there's a big hole that I think big teams will 100% be able to capitalize on. Their mid-game macro is very weird. Their maneuvers around the map, their rotations, and their decision-making. And that will 100% be punished by top-tier teams. If they meet against the great teams that I've listed, top teams, and even the mid-table teams, and make those mistakes, they're done. Seriously. Like, they will lose the game. Like, I don't know if they will lose the match because they can obviously adapt. But Bigatron needs to fix that mid-game low power, like their low control of their mid game for some reason, and if they do that, then they'll pop off. But yeah, that's it for all the teams. That's the recap for MPL Indonesia Season 13. We're gonna move on to now the Rookie of the Week and the Player of the Week, and then we will be done. Here it is, boys and girls, for Rookie of the Week. We have Gugun. So shoutouts to Gugun. I'm actually really hyped up for Gugun. This guy is a player that I actually really was hyped to see in MPL Indonesia Season 13, and I'm glad to see that he is able to get the Rookie of the Week. And there is a bit of controversy regarding this Rookie of the Week selection, so we'll talk about that a little bit as well here. A lot of people don't agree that a person that has lost 2 matches in their first week should be Rookie of the Week, should get the title of Rookie of the Week. Now, I disagree 100% with that statement. Rookie of the Week is a player, is an individual achievement or an individual award that is given out per week. It's not a team thing. And Aura, Fire were actually quite impressive with their neutral objective setups and their neutral objective secures, most importantly. Gugun, his hero pool was quite massive in the jungle. He was able to utilize a plethora of different picks in that jungle. And let me just tell you guys here. Well, we have the stats, right? We have the stats to back this up because Gugun was actually also my vote. So the people who disagree with the Gugun choice, I'll try to give you my explanation. Individually, Gugun was playing a good game. The rest of Aura were not. So losing 0-2, doesn't really impact this rookie of the week. If there was a rookie that outperformed him individually as a player, I would have 100% voted for him. In week 1, if we take a look at the Lord Control and Turtle Control, I'm just going to throw a question to you guys. Who do you guys think has the highest Turtle Control and Lord Control out of all the teams in MPL Indonesia Season 13 based on week 1? If you said ONIC, you're pretty true. It's pretty correct. If you said any other team, like Alter Ego, you're also pretty right. But I don't think anybody would expect Aura to be number 3. So ONIC are number 1 with the most Lord Control and Turtle Control. Alter Ego are number 2 with the second most Turtle Control and the second most Lord Control. And guess who's number 3? Not even Bigatron Alpha, not Dewa United, who went 2-0, not the other teams who went 1-0. It's actually Gugun and Aura, who got 60% Turtle Control and 60% Lord Control, despite losing their 2 matches in the first week. What does that tell me? What does that tell everybody? He secures objectives, man. He's farming really well, and he's able to contest objectives for the team. Now, what the team does with that objective and how they play as a team, whether they falter, that's a different thing. Aura didn't win Team of the Week. Aura didn't win Rookie of the Week. It's Gugun who won Rookie of the Week. So my opinion still stands. I think he was a very good player individually, and he has a lot of potential. Gugun, shout outs to you. We're going to move to the Player of the Week now. And here it is, boys. This is the official Player of the Week. He got a savage. He got 4 MVPs. He's number 1 it's this. I don't think I need to explain. What I do need to tell you guys is a bit of a flex. I've been saying that Emann is the most intelligent goal laner in the world. And this proves it, baby. This proves it. The most intelligent. Doesn't mean he's the best just yet, though. You know, he is the most intelligent. We'll see how he performs, how he progresses. Again, I love this guy. I love this team. WBTR, Starless, you a fucking G, bro, for bringing him on. He told me actually right before. During M5, he told me that I got him on, and I was like, when can I tell this when can I reveal it? When can I reveal this? And I had to wait so long. It's enough said, man. This guy's ridiculous. I don't think anybody can complain about the Player of the Week. I don't even need. Do I need to explain? Segway and a Savage in this first week. It explains itself. Okay, let's go to the Team of the Week. So this is the official Team of the Week for MPL Indonesia Season 13, and 100% I have to agree. Pi had an amazing 2 matches in the first week in Alter Ego. It was really good. Pi on the enabler picks, we've never really doubted, and I'm glad to see him get recognized here again. Drian as the top roamer, as the standout as well. This guy has been in the shadows of Keyboy and Sans for so long. I'm glad that he finally has the chance to pop off, and show how good he is. He's super flexible. Again, bro, Cho, Lethal Ignition, and Dire Hit and full damage, bro. The flexibility is insane. I can only hope to see more heroes later on. Moreno as the Team of the Week mid laner, no complaints here as a BTR fan. No, seriously though. He was really, really good. He played his role really well. When he was given the utility pick, Sector Vixana, he was always there to cover for Emann. And he fits the role of Forgotten One. Most assists every single time. Because if you watch the BTR games, and if you watch how BTR actually played towards Emann in their match against Evos, game number 1, how they were appealing for the carry, this guy played a big role, but was very, very... Yeah, it was not seen. It wasn't flashy. The flashiness was obviously the Savage and the big plays coming in from Emann. But what he did was phenomenal, and he is one of the best mid laners that we have in MPL Indonesia. Had an amazing week. Emann, don't even need to talk about him. We really don't. We just spoke about him. He's just that good. But Taz, the second best transfer. I love Taz so much, but it's so sad for me to say the second best transfer because I really want to say the first best transfer, but Emann transfer was definitely like a bit higher in terms of peak as well for week 1. But he is by a very thin margin the second best transfer. He would have been the first best transfer 100% if Emann didn't, if Bigatron didn't get Emann. it just goes to show you as well that Alter Ego, when they have a jungler who's this flexible, who's this good at video games, it's super hard for me to understand why Evos let him go. But hey, Alter Ego got 100% of the benefits here. Taz is going to be phenomenal. This guy is amazing. Yeah. Team of the Week, presented by official gold partner UBS Gold. Shout out to the Team of the Week. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree with the Rookie of the Week, with the Team of the Week, and if you agree with the placements of the teams based on Week 1, okay? Clippers, based on Week 1. This is not an MPL ID Season 13 overall like power ranking. This is based on Week 1. It's a weekly power ranking, okay? We're going to do this for every single week. We're going to be moving these teams up and down every single week. And we'll try to add more. Let me know what segment you want added into MPL ID Recap. Whether you want me to rank the players in every single role individually as well. I'll do that if you guys want. But leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content on the channel. Peace out, MiRecap. Boom.